Here's the statement. I informed John Butler earlier today that we will not be retained effectively immediately. We thank John for all his contributions to our football program over the past 2 seasons and wishing him the best moving forward. Phil Snow will serve as interim defensive coordinator for upcoming bowl week, and he will work towards naming a new defensive coordinator for the 2020 season in the upcoming weeks. So, thoughts on making this move after those last 2 games?
Yeah, I tell you what, I wasn't expecting it initially, but when in the last 2 games, you give up 77 points and almost 800 total yards offense from those 2 games. You can kind of wrap your head around it a little more and understand it. I thought his comments after the Penn State game were rather telling. I can't remember if it was immediately after the game or it was in his Monday presser, but Coach Rhule saying, yeah, we busted on the first 8 plays of the game defensively. And that normally doesn't happen in the 11th game of the season. So obviously there was some disconnect, communication issues. The guys weren't able to take what they're being taught during practice and transfer it to the game field. And let's be honest, the inability to stop the run was rather alarming this year too. I know they're a heck of a defense against the pass, but you got to be able to stop the run in this league, in football in general. So seeing how the last 2 games ended and just the trajectory of the team and how this defense performed, it's hard to argue the changes and Matt Rhule's rationale for making these moves.
Did you agree that change need to be made?
Yeah, it's always tough, right? I watched this thing and obviously close to it, understanding what they want to do schematically and philosophically. I think, the elephant in the room that everybody talks about is clearly the run defense. But I don't know. I think it's a little bit bigger than that. I think when you have a certain philosophy and it's chunk yardage, but not giving up long runs, and whatever the philosophy was about the explosive movement front, you can't give up the passing yards you did in Pasadena. You can't give up 11 of 12 and a 181 at Penn State.
Right.
And you certainly can't give up 166 to Iowa. So you can reconcile the change, and you heard it after the Penn State game. I wouldn't have said it. I didn't love it with the mixed message that it sent about intimating going portaling. I think he was asking Sam McEwen's question and getting bigger guys. And, philosophically, that's not it. Right, you're letting yourself off the hook with when you say things like that, and I think a lot of it has to do with just being violent. Right, you want to stop the run, you need to condense gaps, you need to play with violent hands, and you need to trust. So I don't care what body types you use. I just watched Iowa finish 12th in the country stopping the run without a 300-pounder. So I never loved the big run stuffing talk. I think it's a lazy take. And I think it lets you off the hook for how you have to stop the run. You stop the run with effort and toughness, right? Size is a luxury. So I think ultimately when you're trying to sell a vision on how you want to play, but then on the back end, you're not getting that end of it done either with the deficiencies in the passing game. I mean, teams were clearly getting a bead on the over routes, then the little bender, and the concepts were really starting to put Nebraska in conflict. You line up in a 3-man front, you're playing base on the goal line. Little things like that, I think, ultimately let other people know you're a little off and you're not quite as dialed as you need to be.
True dichotomy of defense. One of the best in the country in not letting people in the red zone. The worst in the country in allowing them to get touchdowns once they get there. It's a very strange dichotomy that how they play from 30 to 30 and then how they play going in.
You hear that, I mean, I've been part of defenses where what you do between the 30s or the 20s is right. It's like, that's fine. They get down, let's hold them to 3 points. That's one for the defense. Right. That's a win. I've played, you play some elite offenses throughout the year, especially,
Big 12,
back in my time, but, Missouri's and Texas Tech's and those type of teams where it's like, hey, holding them to 3 that's a win. You can wrap your head around that and feel confident in what you're doing. But yeah, it's one thing to limit there, but then they get down there and you're just not sound. You're not solid there either. So this whole situation was stopping the run but being really good against the pass. It's like, I made this analogy the other day with somebody. It's like a golfer being able to drive a ball 350 yards, but they can't hit the green from 75 yards out.
Yeah.
Just to me, it doesn't add up. Doesn't make sense. You have to be able to do everything the right way. You're setting yourself up for failure. It's great. You're really good at stopping the pass, but guess what? Now this team can control the clock. You're put in tough situations, you're against the chains. So, it's just the relationship of everything this year just never seemed to quite fit. Some weeks it was good, some weeks it was bad, very inconsistent. So, when you talk about this and you just dissect it all mentally, you're like, God dang, yeah, I can kind of see why this decision needed to be made because frankly, just wasn't good enough.
We've talked about this before, but at no point does someone look as bad as they do when they don't know what they're supposed to be doing. And at times it looked like the guys maybe weren't prepared. What is the translation to someone who follows this? Were they not prepared? Was it a talent issue? Combination of both? Why did at times it look like guys didn't quite know where they were supposed to be?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of both. But I as an example, there's two things there. Number one, if I'm reading outside zone or I'm reading a scoop block, there's a way that I need to play that 45 violent, get a shoulder turn. So that's not scheme. That's base fundamentals. That's what you have to be coaching up in practice. You have to demand it. So there's that aspect of it. But also, if I have a defense and I'm designed to free up a runner hitter, and I'm +1 and I have a free runner hitter, I expect him to make that play too. So I think at the end of the day, Nebraska needed to figure out and has to figure out what it is that allows them to get so disjointed early.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's a thing. And so I think you have to start there. Maybe it's falling back on who you want to be, who you actually are. So when it gets to be crunch time like that, it's like, okay, at the end of the day, this is what we need to do. So you need to all be on the same page with whatever that is. So when it gets hectic around you, you can control some of the environment.
Leading sacker, Nweri had 2.5. Leading, the two guys had 7.5 TFLs, just no havoc.
Zero.
It's really hard to be able to be in this league and not put some sort of pressure on that quarterback to force them to do something.
Yeah, and I agree. You just didn't see. Guys were coming free, but guys still weren't making plays. And I have to be careful because I don't want to talk out of both sides of my mouth because I was a proponent of them. They were doing some unique things defensively on the lines, trying to do stunts to get guys free. That was causing issues on some of the bigger runs. And I was saying, hey, maybe you got to simplify it. So I don't want to sit here and it's like, oh yeah, because they simplified it and they weren't doing as many stunts, they weren't doing many, trying to get guys free. Like, I think at times they need to do that to put themselves in better position to make these plays and keep it manageable so you're not having running backs hit your head on the goalpost early on in games, like Damon said, getting so disjointed so early. But yeah, you'd like to think you'd have guys be able to get off blocks. You get a one-on-one block as a 3 technique or a 2 technique, and you're able to, button press and throw them off to the side and make a half-yard loss. You see guys maybe be able to create pressure better on the edge on a third and long, right? And it just didn't seem like that was the case. A lot of simulated pressures were brought throughout the year, and guys weren't getting home. And when guys would get free, they'd have troubles making a play. So it just never was able to get over that level. At times, we're like, ooh, that's a darn good defense. But then they come back the next series and just discombobulated, disjointed, and just looked like it was a whole different defense out there. So the inconsistencies of it all together with the havoc plays, giving up big chunk plays in the run game, just is not what this team needs in the Big Ten and going forward to get over this hump, to get themselves into that top 4, 5, 6 teams echelon within this conference.
I think when you're a site-based defense and you adjust and you want to play on the fly, it allows you to be multiple. But you all better be on the same page, right? If you're going to be wrong together. And I think, it's easy to say now, but there were times, even during a broadcast where I think to myself, wow, they have so many automatics where if it's 3rd and 6, you'd see dime, right? Or, there'd be a personnel change. And sometimes I'm just thinking to myself, just stay base here and play ball.
You said that on the goal line before the. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there are just some things where I would see personnel changing. And listen, I don't know everything. I'm just telling you, when you talk about philosophy and what you're trying to sell, right? Because ultimately, coordinators are, head coaches coach coordinators, coordinators coach position coaches coach players. I say that all the time. So if I'm Coach Butler or if I'm Coach Holgerson or anybody, I want to take the blueprint to the head coach and say, this is what we're trying to build, right? And then somebody's going to look at that blueprint and they're going to say, okay, shaky structure, I like it, I don't. Okay, I can see the desired outcome. When you start losing the ability to see what the finished picture is supposed to look like, you got to kind of roll that thing up, put a rubber band on it, and get that thing in the recycling bin. So I think that's kind of where Nebraska is in terms of trying to explain what they want the picture to look like.
I want to ask both of you guys this because I think during your careers, both of you at one point or another experienced this. They lost a lot of veteran leadership last year, and it's still a culture building, right? And when you get to a point where you give up a safety or a bad thing happens, it's hard to bounce back. Arizona State for you back in '96, obviously it happened a few times with you guys. How do you get over that? I
Even Texas.
Or even, how do you get over we have to be able to deal with this pressure to become diamonds opposed to the other side?
I tell you what.
Burst pipes?
Yes. Yeah. I was going to say mud because that's what
It's crazy. I look at, I didn't start playing until my sophomore year. I was 04, and obviously we struggled with Callahan and that new staff, and first time we didn't make a bowl game in 30-some years.
Yeah.
But I remember going into that next year, and we got better. I got better. We got better as a defense. We went from an overfront to an underfront to better suit our talent, and kind of face what we're gonna face for the rest of the time in the Big 12. But I'll never forget. I believe it was the Texas Tech game that year where they got up big. But I remember saying, you just have to forget the scoreboard. You got to forget how much you're down, how much you're up, just every play. And I think Nebraska's done a good job of that next play mentality at times. But to me, that's when I felt like us, fairly older team, but still we were able to do that because I think we're down 21-3 against Texas Tech in 05. And also we bounced back and took the lead in the second half.
Yep.
It's like,
Overtime.
okay,
Yep.
now that's something you can hang your hat on. So you have to trust it, right? And I just not sure if the trust is quite there because this team is still very, very young. A lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores on this team, and they're going to be able to learn, right? Sometimes you got to stub your toe and get banged up and take one on the chin to learn from your mistakes. And you got to get over these hurdles and kind of get thrown in the mix to learn that, hey, next play, next man up. If you make a mistake, learn from it, go get better. But to me, experience matters, and you have to go through those to know that when you do make mistakes, there's that next play you can make up for it in a heartbeat.
Talk about Iowa a little bit because fans may hate them, but they're efficient as heck, and they will let you make a mistake and take advantage of it. There were times where Nebraska's in that game. I mean, it's 17-16, last drive of the second quarter. You get a stop there, it's 17-16 at halftime.
Yeah, worse than that, or to double down, just to accentuate your point, you get a 1-yard gain on first down with Iowa potentially looking at a 2-minute, right? So it's 2nd and 9.
Yep.
Iowa goes tempo. They rip off the 34-yard run.
Right.
Next play, you get the illegal hands to the face, and then all of a sudden your back's against the wall.
Yeah.
So at that point, when that drive started, they'd given up 123 yards of total offense. The handoff run game was non-existent.
Yep.
So what you don't want to hear in the public, like the fan base, is, hey, we're close, we had this play, because there's always those critical junctures in a game where stuff like that happens, where you're off the field in Minnesota without the PI.
Yep.
Then you're off the field the next series without the PI. So what you want to do is you want to culminate. You go from macro to the fan base and to the media. You don't have to get into the minutia. With your team, when you want to walk them through getting over the hump in critical situations, you clump them all together. Hey, in this situation, this is what happened. In this situation, this is what happened. There are these critical junctures that happen in the game. There's a handful of them. There's 6 or 7 plays in these 4 games where we feel like we laid an egg. Fellas, let's process through this in terms of either we're not teaching a culture that we can fall back on in terms of our training, or there's something about our mental makeup in terms of what we're evaluating that doesn't allow us to function under duress. Is it us as a staff? Are we too emotional? Are we not stressed enough Monday through Friday in terms of critical situations, real practice in-game techniques? So you'll look through all of that. So when you're talking to us, stay big picture, because this needs to be a quiet offseason. But when you're talking to a young team that you want to grow, they need to know that it's not insurmountable. You're in control of these situations, so walk them back through where it started to crumble.